The foster care system can be really messed up. Through the foster care system, I experienced just about every kind of abuse. I've had to endure different kinds of punishments. It was really rough. Going to school, getting picked up by someone that doesn't look like me, and then everyone's asking me, who's that? And not knowing how to answer that.
Marshall was just 4 years old when the police arrived at his home and arrested his parents. That moment began his entry into the foster care system, a journey that would place him in dozens of foster homes, sometimes moving every 2 weeks until the age of 15.
From there, it was like, okay, this kid's not gonna make it in a foster home. So from that point on, I was in group homes until I was 18. That's where, for me, where my drug addiction started. Or my alcoholism really kicked off.
Drugs and alcohol led to stints in jail, followed by periods when Marshall slept in his car. But today, Marshall is doing what would have seemed impossible a decade ago. He's 4 years sober and a thriving college student at California State University, Monterey Bay. He credits the Bill Wilson Center in Santa Clara for helping him rise above his past. He regularly meets with one of the center's case managers, Rebecca Trejo, for guidance and support.
He's grown so much just to see him from where he came in, struggling day to day and the most basic things, and seeing him so successful now, being in his own apartment. It's just amazing. It amazes me.
The Bill Wilson Center and other foster care providers like it are placing more young people into college than ever before. It's part of a broader statewide effort that began in 2012. That's the year California enacted a new law extending foster care services from 18 until the age of 21.
What it's meant for California is now we have almost 9,000 18 to 21-year-olds in foster care in California. And we, for the first time, have the opportunity to really help them make a safe, supported transition into post-secondary education.
15 years ago, working with kids leaving the foster care system at age 18, we used to focus on just getting them through high school or with a GED. Well, that started changing about 10 years ago, where we said in Silicon Valley, you need to have a college education. So our focus became, let's get kids into college, let's get youth in foster care to graduate from college, because that's what you need in this valley to get a good job, a paying job where you can be successful.
Yeah, she is good at a lot of things. She even has the same name as you.
Dianna hopes that college will provide a fresh path for her and her young daughter. Dianna was in the foster care system from the age of 9 until she aged out at 21.
I remember having to move around a lot, and really that affected my studies because I was always having to continuously adjust to different schools and different classes, and that's why I always felt like I was behind.
Dianna dropped out of high school when she was 17 years old. She earned her GED a year later, but she knew she wanted more for her growing family. She joined the Bill Wilson Center's Transitional Housing Program, which provides a range of services for foster youth through the age of 25, helping with everything from rent to food and transportation. Ashley Rarick is the supervisor of the program, as well as Dianna's case manager.
For a lot of foster youth, they've been to 20 or more schools and been interrupted multiple times in one academic year. So you can imagine constantly having to move and get used to a new teacher, a new structure. What you were working on in the last class is no longer being worked on in the new class. So we start out by ensuring, do they have a high school diploma? If not, we'll work with them on a plan to get there. And then next on to post-secondary education. The case manager is there every step of the way, helping that young person complete each and every step.
They were always checking in on me to make sure that I was meeting upcoming deadlines so that I could stay on track with school. When I was in high school, I felt like I wasn't prepared and I didn't get the help that I needed. In contrast to that, when I started at Evergreen Valley College, Bill Wilson Center, they made sure that I was prepared to go to school.
Today, Dianna is in her final semester at Evergreen Valley College in San Jose. She's earning 2 associate's degrees. Next, she's transferring to a 4-year university.
This is really about helping young people, get that academic credential earn a place in the living wage economy, and have the opportunities for themselves and their family to live with security and to live with dignity.
In this area, particularly in Santa Clara County, you cannot afford to live a decent life, a stable life, where you're not at risk of homelessness without a college degree or a vocational certificate beyond high school. This is the climate that we're in.
Although more foster youth are enrolling in college now, challenges remain. Many don't understand the financial aid resources available to them. So even though all foster youth are eligible for the Pell Grant, only 50% of them are receiving it. Even fewer are getting the Cal Grant, and many don't realize they can get help with career technical education.
That's a very common misconception. If a young person wants to go into a shorter term training program, they think, well, I don't have to do the FAFSA because I'm going to be in the automotive program at a local community college. That is also eligible. Those funds can also be used to offset the real costs that go with those kind of programs.
Dianna says she wants other foster kids to know that there are resources available to them, financial or otherwise.
If they do choose to go to college, know that they're going to be well supported and that many opportunities are going to be heading their way, but most importantly that they aren't in it alone.
For Marshall, he says he still deals with the trauma he went through as a child, memories that will never completely disappear.
It's hard to overcome that, you know, and that really prohibits us from being successful.
But today, he is successful. He's on the path to graduate with a bachelor's degree in collaborative health and community services with an emphasis in social work.
Today, my goal is to be a social worker and to affect positive change, you know, and it's beautiful. And this journey is hard, but it's doable and it's worth it.
Did you know foster youth get priority registration at California community colleges and California State University campuses under current state law? Foster youth are also given priority for on-campus housing at CSU campuses. During academic breaks, foster youth are allowed to stay in their housing at no additional cost.